The Battle of Ginza marked the first contact between the nations of Earth and the kingdoms of Falmart. It is still not understood how the gate functions, or what caused it to appear without warning, but in an instant, realities previously separated by time, distance, and perhaps more, were connected. It was a meeting of two worlds, and the results were disastrous. For the first time since the end of the Second World War, the streets of Japan became a battlefield. In their unrestrained arrogance, the Empire of Sedera immediately sought to claim the exotic lands beyond the gate, but they were entirely ignorant of just how inferior their own armies were. Once the Japanese self-defense forces were mobilized, the Battle of Ginza became a massacre. Though the forces of the Empire and its satellite kingdoms posed no real threat to the state of Japan, the presence of an interdimensional portal in the heart of Tokyo could not be tolerated. With a warlike, aggressive empire on the other side, the safety of Japan could only be certain if both sides of the gate fell under its control and jurisdiction, and thus the JSDF fought there. Japan's Self-Defense Forces base, Alnus, is the result of this objective, a unique military district located in what has come to be called the Special Region. Its purpose is to guard the entrance to the gate, ensuring that nothing enters Japan without the express permission of the JSDF. Increasingly, however, it has also become the means in which travel to the Special Region is limited. With the other nations of Earth, the United States, Russian Federation, and People's Republic of China greatly desiring their own presence on the far side of the gate, JSDF Alnus no longer solely protects Japan, but the Special Region as well. The complex legality regarding the Japanese use of military force places JSDF Alnus in a singular position, even disregarding the fantastical realm in which it exists. In the context of international law, it is considered the sovereign territory of Japan, though whether this is a temporary measure or the prelude to a full annexation has been kept deliberately vague by the Japanese government. In practical terms, the territory claimed by the JSDF is a quasi-colonial administrative entity. Its governance is almost entirely handled by the Japanese Self-Defense Forces, with a lieutenant general representing the highest military authority present. Civilian oversight remains limited, though the approval of the Japanese government is still required for any major military operations. Further complicating the status of JSDF Alnus is the rapid expansion of both Japanese military forces and installations within its borders. Originally nothing more than a series of trenches, weapon emplacements, and temporary structures, the territory has been increasingly fortified and developed. An administrative complex, barracks, motor pool, hospital, and airfield have all been established, together with various amenities serving local personnel. Amidst the rapid destabilization of the Empire of Sedera, various refugees have also settled within JSDF Alnus. The base has accordingly become a center of trade, with goods from each side of the gate regularly sold within stores and markets. A civilian community has flourished outside the main military sector, expanding in its own right to include permanent residences for the displaced peoples of the Special Region. Its enormously advanced standard of living, compared to what exists elsewhere, has attracted those from all across the continent. Not all of these displaced peoples are human, but members of persecuted sentient species. JSDF Alnus is likely one of the few places in the Special Region where these groups exist without fear of repression. The intermingling of different species and different worlds has created a unique cultural environment, one whose importance can only increase as trade and contact between Earth and the Special Region expands. Ultimately, however, JSDF Alnus remains a military base with its own dedicated forces. Much of the equipment stationed there, however, is comparatively old, reflecting a very deliberate policy on the part of the Japanese government. With the collapse of the gate or the sudden evacuation of the base a very real scenario, Japan has avoided deploying any advanced equipment to the Special Region that it cannot afford to abandon if required. Furthermore, as the Special Region lacks GPS or military networks, the mobilization of more advanced equipment would greatly increase the economic burden of maintaining JSDF Alnus. Faced with kingdoms whose own technology has barely progressed beyond crossbows and windmills, even second-rate Japanese equipment is more than enough to completely dominate the Special Region. The effectiveness of Japanese military equipment against even fully mobilized and battle-hardened Imperial armies set the tone for the relationship between the Earth and Special Region. The mere presence of JSDF Alnus and the comparatively limited deployment of its forces has been enough to destabilize the entire region and threaten the complete collapse of the Empire of Sedera. Yet, Japanese military forces have also been of great benefit to the people of the Special Region, especially in the eradication of hostile, indigenous life forms. The JSDF's actions against what the Japanese government designated as Special Region Type A dangerous beast, but known more informally as a flame dragon, was of particular cultural significance. Almost without effort, forces of JSDF Alnus removed from the Special Region one of its most dangerous and cruel forces of nature. In the limited time in which the two worlds connected by the gate have interacted, it is clear the relationship remains an unbalanced one. While small by the standards of Earth's nations, JSDF Alnus represents the greatest concentration of military power anywhere on the continent, and likely the world. How this power is used, however, must be the ultimate concern of both worlds.
The Templin Institute investigates the nations, factions, and organizations of alternate worlds. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to join the Templin Institute, consider pledging to our Patreon page. Along with increased security access, you'll be able to vote in polls to determine future topics, get custom wallpaper every week, and receive some other exclusive rewards.